There's nothing quite like the great British chip, and what could be simpler? After all, it's just a potato, chopped and fried for a few minutes. Simple, isn't it? What could possibly go wrong with that? Well, it's a little bit more difficult than that because people are a bit fussy when it comes to their chips. You see, everybody knows exactly how they should really look and taste. Gloriously golden and crisp on the outside and fluffy in the middle. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make the very best chips just the way your customers like them every time. I'm going to take you through the whole process from seed to farm to plate, showing you how they start life and how to store, fry and serve. I'll also be showing you that however tempting it may be, cutting corners can cost you dearly in the end. And you'll be pleased to know I'll be showing you that following the McCain guidelines can mean more profit for you. McCain certainly know their spuds. But they don't just use any old potatoes. They get the perfect size and tasting potatoes because they have a real head start. You see, McCain are unique. They have their own seed potato growing business in Montrose, right in the heart of the prime Scottish potato growing area, providing seed to UK growers for their crops. McCain use 5 different varieties of potatoes for their chips, from early crop to late harvesters. Makes sense if you think about it, because it's the only way that McCain can make sure they have the best quality and size potatoes for their chips all the year round. All McCain food service branded chips are made from 100% British potatoes, and most are grown from McCain's own seeds by over 300 farmers across the UK. Some of them have been growing for McCain for over 40 years. That's almost 3 generations of farmers. McCain's team of agronomy experts work together with them out in the field, quite literally. These guys really know their stuff and give the farmers practical advice and technical support all year round. Believe it or not, every potato grown from McCain has a potato passport. That means they can trace them back to not only the farm they were grown, but sometimes even the exact field. Incredible. And it doesn't stop there. Once farmers hand over their precious crops, McCain keep a beady eye on quality from washing and peeling right through to chipping and freezing. That's serious quality control from seed to farm to plate. And also you can profit from serving glorious British chips to your customers. Right, I've just had a delivery from McCain, so let's get started. Of course, the chips you serve are only going to be as good as your raw material. And when you use McCain, you know that you have the best possible start. But even with quality chips, you're still going to make sure that you handle them correctly so they stay in perfect condition. First priority, check they arrive in perfect nick. Then when you're happy, get them into the cold store as quickly as possible, because with frozen and chilled products, changes in the storage temperature are a big enemy of quality. You need to check a good few cases. So we're looking for -18 degrees C for frozen chips. Get a thermometer like this and check the temperature. Okay, I'm happy with the temperature, but what about the condition of the boxes? Check carefully for signs of water or drop damage. You might think that chips are fairly hardy, but they're actually quite sensitive little fellas, so always handle them with plenty of TLC. Now let me put that into perspective. Drop a case from chest height like this, and you'll damage up to 1/3 of your chips and lose over 1 in 10 of your portions. If you serve larger portions, you could lose 6 a case. For smaller portions, wave goodbye to up to 10 servings per case. Broken bits mean that you have to put more chips on your plate to get a decent looking plateful. Now, you don't have to be a mathematician to see how the losses can build. You're literally chucking your profit away. Obviously, temperatures for frozen and chilled products are going to be different, but even small variations outside the recommended temperature range will affect finished quality. So it's essential you follow the manufacturer's storage instructions. Right, I think that's about that. Remember, only sign for delivery when you're completely happy with everything. Right, time to get that thermometer out again. Now make sure that the temperature in the cold storage is -18 degrees C for frozen and 0 to 3 degrees C for chilled. In the case of frozen chips, if the temperature was any higher, you might start to get the chips clumping together. This makes them harder to cook evenly and reduces the yield you get from each bag. And apart from anything else, it doesn't look very good on a plate, like this less than perfect plateful. Well-organised storage can actually make the whole temperature issue a lot easier to manage. It's always a good idea to store the chips off the floor and away from the walls. So use good, clean shelving and make sure there's good all-round ventilation. This is going to give you room for air to circulate, keeping the temperature nice and even. And of course, it lets you get in and around the cases for easy cleaning. Never stack more than 5 cases high. It makes everything easy to handle, but more importantly, it means the boxes won't topple over. Now, when you're taking a case out of storage, always follow the FIFO rule. First in, first out. Check the date codes and take the oldest chips first. The basic principles apply for whatever chips you're using, but with freeze-chilled chips, there are 1 or 2 different points to bear in mind if you're planning to cook from chilled. You need to remove your chips from your freezer and transfer to your chiller, storing for a maximum of 5 days using the oldest stock first. Now, whether you're cooking with freeze-chilled chips from chilled or straightforward chilled chips, you need to take a little bit more care as they're more prone to breakages. If you've got the luxury of a walk-in freezer, you might find it more efficient to transfer what you need to a store nearer the fryer before cooking starts. Now they're safely tucked away, time to think about your cooking oil. You know, the quality of your cooking oil can really make or break your chips, so it's vital that you keep it up to scratch. There are 3 big issues with the oil: how clean the oil is, how much of it there is, and how hot it is. So make sure you check all of these as part of your daily prep. Okay, so first thing, cleanliness. If your oil is old or dark like this, you're going to end up with bad chips, so change it frequently. To avoid waste, filter it regularly following the fryer manufacturer's instructions. It's also worth checking that the oil is free of any crumb too. Now, a good way to clean it is to use a sieve like this and drag it along the oil. If you don't do this, you'll get nasty little black specks on your chips, and it's not going to go down very well with your customers. Check your frying basket for damage. Broken wires are a food safety risk, and you lose chips into the oil. Apart from reduced yield, blackened and burnt chips really affect flavour and appearance. And then there's your oil level. Keep it topped up to the right levels to ensure even cooking. Too little and your chips could be undercooked or even raw, and too much leads to splattering. But only top up when the fryer is switched off and the oil is totally cold. Check the fryer thermometer and make sure it's at the same temperature as the handheld thermometer. Too hot and your chips will cook too quickly and be dark on the outside and raw in the middle, and too cold and too much oil will be absorbed, meaning horrible, soggy chips. Got that? Okay, time to start cooking.